Assalamu alaikum, my dear students of class 7. This is your teacher, Miss Yusra Mughal, and I welcome you again in our virtual class, which is organized by Metropolitan School. So, my dear students, now let's moving towards a new topic, that is the topic from your poetry book. So, yes, we are going to study, we are going to read a poem from a book which is the poetry book, which is being written by Sir Danish Javed, and we already knew that he has written poem in a very simple and easy language. So now let's see that what is being this poem has described to you people. So what is the topic of the poem, the name of the poem, and the name is Have Your Say. So what do you understand by the name? So let's moving towards the poem and let's discuss that what do you want to say. Now let's hear what the heart has to say. So in this poem, what have you understand that you will have to say whatever is in your heart, right? So now let's start with the poem. So if apples had not iron, had gold, let us say, 1 dozen would worth million would keep the jeweler away. If we flew like birds do over lands and water and hills, no red lights all way through, no airfares, no flying bulls. If people loved each other from bottom of their heart, no battles here would occur. Earth would be heaven's part. So now you have seen that what does this poem describes you. This is describing the imaginary world of yours. That what have you imagined that you are not, but you can imagine those things that if you were that, so what will you do? So this is the imaginary world that poet describes, that whatever in your heart you will have to say. So let's moving towards the explanation of this poem. So I am now reading this poem, and as you have seen the structure, that this poem is basically based on the three stanzas, right? Because the poem which has 4 lines in is called a stanza, and which has the 2 lines, those poems are called the couplet poem, right? So here there are the stanzas and there are 3 stanzas. So what the poet want to say in the very first stanzas, that if apples had not iron, had gold, let us say, 1 dozen would worth million would keep the jeweler away. So now imagine that if the apples doesn't have the iron and the apples have the gold, then what happened? That 1 dozen of apple will worth million. So what happened then? We'll keep away from the jeweler, right? So this is the imagination that the poet wants to prescribe in this stanza. Now let's moving towards the second stanza, that is, if we flew like birds do over lands and water and hill, no red lights all way through, no airfares, no flying bills. So this is what I want to be. I want to be like a bird. I want to be fly. I want to be fly over lands, over hills, over seas, over mountains. And for that, what happened? Are you supposed to? I have you have a thought in your mind that birds are flying all over in the sky. There is no limit. They can flying from country to country, and they are not supposed to pay any of the bills. They are not supposed to pay the air tickets, the flying bills. They are like, you will have to think about it, that if you want to be a bird, so what happened then? I flew to so many countries, and what will you do? So this is also an imagination, but this is his heard what he is said. So, in the very last stanza of the poem, the poet portray and to give you a message of love and peace. So, let's moving towards the last stanza. If people loved each other from bottom of their heart, no battles here would occur, earth would be heaven's part. So if there is nothing, uh, nothing, there is nothing negative in the world, nothing, you can say the revenge in the world, nothing a fight between the countries in the world. If people will live with love with each other and can at least understand that all the humans are same, so what happened then? If the people will live in love and with peace, so what happened? That there will not be any war, any battle between the people, any battle between the countries, and our earth will be looks like a heaven, an Eden, a garden of paradise. So this is basically the imaginary world, but I think in the third stanza that poet is giving us a message of love. So what we'll have to do, this is what he thinks and what his heart say. So he has written in the words. So this is a small assignment for you people as well, that you will have to write that what your heart say, right? I hope you really enjoyed and understand this poem. Now let's moving towards the exercises. So my dear students, there are some exercises, or you can say the some questions are given on the page number 37 under the heading of ponder poetically, in which we have to give answers of the some questions given, right? So now let's moving towards the very first question, that is, if you were not you, what would you like to be? Have your say. So if whatever you are right now, if you were not you, so what you like to be? Like I like to be a bird because I want to fly, I want to travel without paying any bills. So that's why I like to be a bird. So what's your opinion about it? Kindly share it with us. Next is, imagine and describe your life if you were a bird. If I were a bird, so I really enjoyed my life. I flew on the sky on different countries, and I flew to hills, mountains, plains, rivers, seas, and I really enjoyed it. So if you were a bird, what will you do? You will have to write it down by your own. So there is a next question, and the next question is, what kind of a world do you think would be a heaven's part? So as we have discussed in the poem, that the heavens part is in the last stanza, and the poet thinks that if there were no battles and people will live with love and peace, so world would be like a heaven, right? So what do you think? Is the poet right or wrong? Kindly share your opinions and your answers. So there is another question, and you people are very much familiar to that question, that is, give one rhyming word for each of the following. So we'll have to write the one rhyming word with all these words which are given, and the words which you rhyme are not from your poem. The words are iron, say, hills, through, other, part, right? There is another heading, that is retain the meanings, in which you will have to write the meanings of the words which are given in your book in your copy. And for your vocabulary test, you will have to learn those words as well to improve your vocabulary. So what are those words? Number 1, airfare, price of an air ticket, occur, to happen, keep away, to prevent from or avoid somebody, from the bottom of heart, in a way that is sincere. Right, my dear students, I hope you understand that how you can do the exercises from page number 37. Now let's moving towards the home assignment. So now students, this is time for the home assignment, and what you will have to do, you will have to do the exercise A, B, C, and D of page number 37, and all those exercises, or you can say the questions, which are given in page number 37 under the heading of ponder poetically. Then there is another heading that is retain the meanings. You will have to write down the words and their meanings in your copy as well, right? I hope you really enjoyed the poem and you can understand the poem. Kindly share your views and your ideas regarding this poem, which I have asked to you already, right, my dear students? See you soon, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.